Yeah, she isolated me from everything and everybody. I used to have a lot of friends before I met her. I'm a very social person. And in the time that we were together, we didn't see anybody. It was practically, didn't lose all my friends. I just never talked to anybody anymore. Really, absolutely nobody, just to my parents every once in a while.
He would say things to me like, my friends weren't good enough, my friends didn't have the best interest, my friends, they weren't real friends. So he was constantly trying to say bad things about my life, and I was constantly defending my friends, like, no, my friends are not like that at all. And especially as he stayed at my house for a very long time, I was made to feel guilty every time I wanted to see somebody. Like I betrayed him or something, and he never went out to see any friends for himself. So whenever somebody came over, he would put up a fight about it later. He even threatened to kill one of my best friends, one he never even met in his life. So in the end, I felt so uncomfortable that I didn't invite people over anymore. I only saw his friends and his family. But the thing is, when you're inside of it, it's not that black and white. I knew my friends were good people, but he made it seem like he saw something that I didn't about them, and he wouldn't let it go. He made it seem like he was helping me, trying to see the truth about other people in the world, because he loved me so much. It was one big show of manipulation.
They will try to break the bonds between anybody you're close connected with or anybody you love to gain more power and control over you. So they will destroy anything which gets in their way. So your connection with your family might be sabotaged. You will get into fights because of them with your friends. They will try to do everything to destroy your social network.
Another part of the isolation, I always used to live in the city. She had this big thing about us being this perfect little family, and so we should move into the country, buy a house, and just be this happy little family. So I went with that. I bought a house in the middle of the country. I bought the house. 1 week later, she says, I'm never going to live here. I'm going to stay in the city. You just stay here. And later I thought, at the moment you don't realize, what the hell just happened, man? I thought we were going to have this life together. But later I found out this is also an isolation technique or something. She just wanted me to have nothing to do with any other people. So I live in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors, nothing. Well, I have some neighbors, but you know what I mean? It's a big difference to the city. But mostly, in all those years, I had no contact with anybody. If people would call me friends or something, I would just not react.
It is about them waiting for you to be so invested and be so trusting and be so loving, and you are already head over heels with them, and then they show you who they are. They show you the monster when they know they have you. That's why mine wanted me to live with him. That's why mine wanted to claim me so that I couldn't go anywhere the moment he showed me his true self.
He wanted total control over my life. He wanted control over the things I did, the people I saw, but also he wanted control over the way I was thinking. So when I would have my own opinion about something, or if I would disagree with him about something, he would keep me hostage and wouldn't let me go. And I'm talking hours and hours. He wouldn't let me go until I agreed with him. And the funny thing is, sometimes it felt like brainwashing. In the end, after many, many hours of him having him scream at me and making his own statements clear, I felt like, yeah, well, maybe he is right, even though I knew, like, this doesn't make sense. He made like the weirdest things sound good. And then when he would be gone and I would come back into my own energy, I felt like, why did I believe him?
So why do we experience that psychopaths want absolute control over people in their environment? and often also just one person in their environment. It is because they are really damaged little children who have not received, in many cases, the attention they needed to be able to develop themselves. And then it becomes an obsession for them to control somebody so that they do the exact thing that they think they need to fulfill their need.
I mistook this control for love because I could see him make an effort and I could see him always coming back. And I wasn't used to that. And so I thought, well, he must really care about me, but I didn't see that it had nothing to do with love. It had everything to do with him controlling me and seeing me as his, like he owned me.
Many victims believe that the person they are dealing with, whether it be a psychopath or a narcissist or both, that he or she loves them, whereas what they experience is a show, but a very convincing show. They are seeing a convincing mask, a perfection mask. Most people, when they hear the term psychopath, think that psychopaths are these serial killers. These cases exist, but they are very rare. Most psychopaths never go to jail, they just walk among us in society. If you walk on the street and you pass 20 people, statistically you have encountered one psychopath.
They need you in a state in which you can't function to your to the best of your abilities, be it physically, like for instance my mom kept me physically weak by medicating me herself, and my ex kept me mentally weak by making me doubt all my decisions, making me doubt everything I stood for. So they need you weak in some department and dependent on them for even your most basic needs. Some narcissists do it by keeping you financially dependent even, making sure you can't go anywhere, making sure you have to live with them and in a new city where you don't know anyone, where you can't find a job, so they can control your behavior. So they need you in a weakened state to have influence.
A majority of people who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder are also psychopaths, because they have no functioning conscience.